Hi, I'm here with Glen Kelly. He is, and we're behind the scenes of Castle Hambone. So, let's start where the obvious place. Where did you come up with, and what were the underpinnings and the reason for coming up with Castle Hambone?
Yeah, well, I was part of the Puppet Underground. I was also doing the show Funny Guys on Channel 14.
Funny guys, never the truth, only the lies. We're funny guys.
And one of the Puppeteers was having a lot of shoulder problems. And I thought, how can we get him involved and still do the puppet, live action stuff? And then I think I was watching a WGN documentary or, a look back at WGN, and they had Garfield Goose on there with Fraser Thomas. And I thought, bingo, which I think the set kind of has that feel.
Oh, sure.
To
Yeah, the Romberg Rabbit.
Yeah.
I remember all those characters, sure. Yeah. He had a brother, too, didn't he have a brother?
Goose. Yeah, I think, they put glasses. That was his mom. They put a little beard on her. So then this idea kind of came to me, and I thought, well, we could make him a prince. And I think Game of Thrones was probably in the back of my mind, too. So, and, Joffrey was obviously an evil future king, but I thought if we could have kind of this older guy that wants to be prince and wants to be in charge, but he's kind of I don't want to say buffoon, but I will say buffoon. And he just kind of has similar qualities to like Joffrey, and then he has these farm animals that only he can talk to. He hears them, and then he has a fish, McGill, Scottish fish, and
the Scottish fish has an accent?
The Scottish fish has an accent, and he gives rebuttals, but no one can hear him. But it's just, he gets to have rebuttals.
Sounds kind of fishy to me.
And then we also have a big fan of the Muppets. I had like my Statler and Waldorf. I have Dangle and Stretch, and they're two guys that are hanging in the gallows who, their torture is to hang in the gallows, but then they decided to put a HD screen in there, but it just goes right into Prince Reginald's Castle Hambone set. So that's their other part of their torture is they have to sit there and watch what happens with Prince Reginald and his friends.
So they put a 52-inch HD TV in here with only one channel, and it's a direct live feed into Prince Reginald's conference room.
Haven't we suffered enough? Then I also have little cutaways with the puppets will reenact parts from movies like Pulp Fiction or A Few Good Men or Silence of the Lambs or something. And just those are just little cutaways that have nothing to do with the sketch, but they just do it like it does, and just fun.
So, now this character, the human talking to the puppets,
Prince Reginald. He's
the only human that is in
no, there will be other humans. I'm hoping Kevin Irvin from Frank Steiner, he kind of said he will play the part of the king, but we have yet to shoot something with him.
Now, will he be able to understand the animals?
No, nobody. Just Prince Reginald.
So, okay. I'm just wondering. So I'm wondering how that will play out. Will people think he's crazy because of that? I mean, I'm just wondering.
I think his dad will say stuff about you're always hanging around with those stupid animals or something to that effect. But you'll just have to see what happens. But he also does have a personal butler, Jeeves, who is a Muppet-looking puppet. And I kind of styled him after John Gielgud from Arthur.
Sure.
Was it Hobson, I think? And then I kind of gave him, I actually do the puppet for that one, because I did, even though I'm writing and directing and all that, I did want to do some puppeteering. So I do Dangle from the gallows, and then I do Jeeves is the butler's name. And I kind of styled his voice after Kazoo from Flintstones.
Sure.
Hello, dum-dums.
Yeah, Kazoo, yeah, sure.
I always love that character, and that's kind of how Jeeves is. He's kind of the conscience behind the show, and kind of always putting Prince Reginald in his place. But
do you ever break that? What is it? The fourth wall? Is it the fifth wall or whatever? The wall where anybody talks to the audience. I mean, or you haven't done that yet.
We have we have done that. Prince Reginald has talked back, and so has Jeeves.
Okay. And now, have you written like an arc already? I mean, that you plan on, or is this as a run and gun kind of a?
Well, I have 5 sketches that I wrote. I have actually, I think 8 now written, but 5 of them we've actually shot everything, and they're pretty much all edited. And when I had found out about doing web series, they had said, you know, it's not good to do like 10 or 20. Start with 4 or 5, see how they go, see what your audience likes and stuff. So that's where we're at with that. And
you'll be able to figure out what seems to get.
Yeah, I already have ideas of where the characters are going to go, but we're just having some fun right now with them. And Prince Reginald will have a love interest who probably won't have anything to do with him, and then there's a female princess puppet that will be in love with him that he will not show any affection to.
Unrequited.
Yeah, and these are just characters down the road that haven't even.
Why Hambone?
Why not?
Well, you do have a pig as one of the characters.
and he gets referenced to. The prince likes to threaten the farm animals with, you know,
bacon.
Yeah, and there's a chicken. Yeah, so it's cordon bleu.
Yeah, right. Sure.
They throw that in there with the ham, and then there's also an alpaca who always brings up the fact that he, you know, is quite gamey and not
he doesn't taste
right.
Okay, yeah.
Llamas are much better than alpacas when it comes to eating. And,
as we all know.
Right.
Hello? Alpaca? But from what I hear, we taste much worse than llamas.
I will say that when I originally wrote it and had the idea, you know, it's one of those, all of a sudden you can't sleep, you're writing everything.
Sure.
You just can't, you know. You're an artist too, so you get it. Everything was flowing, but it was originally going to be called Prince Reginald.
Okay.
After that title character, and then I just didn't. I did like him being called Prince Reginald, but I thought for a title of a web series or a show, I didn't really like it. And then I'm like, well, he lives in a castle, and then Hambone.
Does Castle Hambone exist in a universe like a Winterfell and a you know, what are some of the other places? King's Landing.
King's Landing. Yeah.
I mean, does it exist in that kind of universe?
There are other castles that, like his love interest that he will soon meet. She's from Castle Nirvana. So there will be places like that, but there's also I'm putting technology in there, obviously, because Dangle and Stretch get to look at this HD TV.
Sure.
So yet you'll see everything else looks like it's from like the Renaissance. Yeah.
Renaissance with HD.
Right. 4K. Who knew?
Yeah. But back then, I think it was only 1080p. So, well, thanks for that little insight, and we'll. I guess you guys now get to see.
Yeah,
that's what's going on.
I can't wait for everyone to see it, and hopefully the reaction's positive. But you know, it is kind of my field of dreams. Like, I really felt like I had to see this through and do it. So if it does fail, I did what I wanted to do, and if it takes off, you know, more power.
Well, you know,
we'll see.
Success or failure is always a good guidance.
Right.
You know, to trying it again. Trust me, I have failed before.
A mistake
Still
is
failing.
a gift. I think it was Jeff Bridges or Robin Williams. Someone said that, and it was like, you know, you can learn from that.
Oh, yeah.
That's the best part about it.
But success is, you know,
that's good too.
That's good too. Yeah, we'll take that. So
Mrs. Kelly likes the idea of success over failure.
Yeah,
she's put up with a lot, and I'm really lucky that
she has.
Yes, that's right. She doesn't come down into the studio too often, you know, but she's actually lent her voice and, you know, moved a puppet's arm or something to help us out. So,
well, that's great. Well, and you've got now with the cast of characters you have already, you know, everybody's getting along. I mean, because you know, an ensemble, you're also dealing with the personalities. Of course, in this case, you're dealing with the personalities of the puppets and the personalities of the puppeteers. But I mean, everybody's having fun.
That's the
big deal.
And it's always a pizza party over here the night we shoot, and whatever that, you know, we have beer, soda, wine, water, whatever and we have a blast. There's Connor Asher drives up from Chicago, so it's probably the toughest to get him, and he's doing a lot with puppets down in Chicago. You should really check him out. But then most of the other group, my son's one of the puppeteers, Jill Fredrickson, and myself, and then Ty. He's doing one of the puppets from the gallows. He's doing Stretch, so he still gets to do some of his puppeteering. He doesn't have to worry about his shoulders, and the issues he's having there. So.
But he's generally the prince.
He is the prince, yes, yeah. The interaction just over the last, we've shot 5 now, and it's kind of neat to watch how these characters they're getting who they are and how they react to him and each other, and it's fun to watch that. And it was just an idea I had, and this is how I kind of wrote them, but now I'm seeing what they're becoming, and the interaction is really cool.
And the next 5 then will be even more evolutionary, as the characters.
Right. Well, I'm hoping everybody, exactly. They'll flesh themselves out, and hopefully we'll see a little more into some of the characters. One of my other backgrounds is music, as is yours, and I'm trying to incorporate that into the show. And the animals actually they'll play instruments.
That sounds like you've got a lot of room to grow with it, and that sounds pretty interesting, especially because of the number of characters. Not too many, not too little.
Right.
Just enough to have interaction and growth. It seems pretty cool. Well, thanks, Glenn. Well, I hope all of you enjoy the show, Castle Hambone.
Thank you.